Executive Director of Buffalo Niagara Waterkeeper. Really happy to welcome you all today to another gorgeous day, another grand opening of another Buffalo Blueway site here in Western New York. I want to acknowledge some special guests that we have here today. Joining me at the podium is County Executive Mark Holenkars. Also, we have representing Governor Hochul's office and Empire State Development, Bonnie Kane-Lockwood. It's also an honor to welcome the Thomas Higgins family here with us, the namesake of this park, in honor of the site. Sorry, I'm dealing with a cold. Also want to acknowledge our project manager, Catherine Winkler, from our team who oversaw this project, and the contractors who took the plans and made it a reality from Miller Construction. We have Zach, Dylan, and Adam, who are somewhere in the crowd over here, and Kevin from Anchor QAA. So welcome all to this today. We're even more excited about today because we are also not only celebrating the successful completion and grand opening of the Thomas Higgins Park, but this is the beginning of what's known as Waterkeeper Weekend, where we kick off Western New York's water season. And we'll be celebrating with many of you over this weekend with many of our partners at Canalside tomorrow from 12 to 7. So make sure you stop by. There's a lot of groups down there. There'll be a lot of water-based activities, and it's kind of the unofficial official launch of water season here in Western New York. Our community has worked really hard in collaboration for decades to really reclaim and restore the Buffalo River from an environmental damage to our waterways. And that ecosystem work and recovery is still ongoing. Meanwhile, the demand and interest for outdoor recreation is growing. More than ever, people are feeling the need to seek out the solace of nature, to make connections to fish and wildlife, and experience the natural beauty that surrounds us, but oftentimes is often overlooked. The Buffalo Niagara Waterkeeper understands this community need, and we have spent the majority of our 35 years trying to deliver a cleaner environment and stronger connections to nature. And we don't accomplish any of that alone. Waterkeeper and our partners have been rapidly enhancing access since 2018. This Blueway work collectively improves access, improves amenities and user experiences, and connects more people to their regional waterways, while also making better connections to our land-based greenway systems. And water access means different things to different people. The diversity in use and experience helps guide our design work, so these places can benefit as many people as possible. Every Blueway site that you visit has a different amenity, has a different unique design element to it based on the community needs and desires. And so whether you're an angler or a paddler, a hiker or a bird watcher, whether you have limited mobility or not, Western New York's natural waterways and resources should be accessible to everyone, so everyone is inspired to protect our waterways and be better environmental stewards. So this hidden gem at Higgins Park has provided various forms of access for the community for several decades, and the county has worked hard to maintain this site amongst all the other parks and open spaces that they have to maintain and manage for our community. We are grateful for their collaboration and partnership. They have truly been dedicated to protecting and restoring our natural resources, in particular along the Buffalo River. So Waterkeeper's collaborative work with the county has resulted in the commitment of nearly $1 million from Empire State Development in funding to improve this site. And the site amenities include a stabilized shoreline using pinned ledge rock to prevent continued erosion. You can kind of see that along the shoreline here. This is an at-grade culvert that connects the Buffalo River to an existing wetland, which we are standing over right now. A graded paddle sport egress, or an exit point along the Buffalo Blueway for paddlers to utilize, as this could be a stopover point or a rest area when they have their journey along the Buffalo Blueway. We also have a new fishing pier here, which has been designed to be as accessible as possible for everyone. And we also have enhanced pathways, benches, and educational signage, and a Blueway marker that's easy to spot from the river. And you're seeing more and more of these paddle markers all over Western New York's waterways. So the site is now open for public use, and we ask for the ongoing care, stewardship, and protection of these access points for our waterways. There are over 30 different fish species that have returned to the Buffalo River as it continues to recover, and is affording tremendous opportunities for recreational fishing and wildlife viewing in the heart of our city. The Higgins Park site will join a growing list of new improved Blueway sites along the Buffalo River and Outer Harbor, including Buffalo River Works, Wilkeson Point, Mutual Riverfront Park, the Ohio Street Boat Launch, and Red Jacket Park. In addition, 3 new sites are either under design or under construction right now, including the Harlem Road Boat Launch, Seneca Bluffs, and Ralph Wilson Jr. Park. So for more information about the Buffalo Blueway or to plan your Blueway experience, people can visit our website at buffaloblueway.com, where there's an interactive trip mapper and more details and photos about each site. So again, I want to thank all of you for joining us today for this grand opening, and it is my pleasure to introduce our partner, County Executive Mark Poloncarz.
Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Jill, and thank you to the entire Buffalo Niagara Waterkeeper team for the work that you did on this park. This is actually kind of the second grand opening of this park, because it was a couple years ago in which we officially renamed it Thomas F. Higgins Park, but we said at that point there was more work that was going to come. And though it was a wonderful spot at the confluence of the Buffalo River and Cazenovia Creek to fish and to see wildlife, more was coming because of the project that was associated with the Buffalo Blueway. And now we're here today with a completed project. And I want to thank the entire Buffalo Niagara Waterkeeper team. As Jill noted, this is not the first project that actually has been done in conjunction with Erie County. Red Jacket Park was the first. Of course, we have Seneca Bluffs, which is a little further down the river, which will be the third. But that's one of many that's actually gone on to create the Blueway here along the Buffalo River. And that is also as well with the work that's been done to clean the Buffalo River. 30 years ago, this site was one of the most polluted rivers in the United States. And it's not anymore because of the work that's been done by many, including work associated with Waterkeeper, to ensure that this site is a clean one for all to enjoy, as well as our friends in the wildlife, who, as you see, with ducks floating down the river, we're hearing the birds behind us, use this site a lot. I want to thank the members of the family from former Sheriff Tom Higgins, who are here today, the late sheriff, someone I enjoyed talking with, learning a lot about the history of our government, but also his passions. And it was when it was brought up to rename this park in his honor, it was one of those things that my father likes to call no-brainer. It was something that we knew should be done because of his service, not only to the county, to the country. So thank you all for being here on this day. And we do miss the late, great former sheriff. I want to thank my team at the Erie County Department of Parks, led by our Commissioner Troy Schinzel, our Deputy Commissioner Jimbo McDonald. We have representatives here as well, Adam from the Park Ranger's office, because it's not the biggest park we have. It's small, but it's mighty. Because of what you can do here, as was described by Jill, is you can come here and you can bird watch. You can fish. It's a site for paddlers and others to actually be able to enjoy. And it is one of those sites that if we hadn't done the work, we were going to lose it. As simple as that. We were going to lose it due to erosion. And with everything that we've seen, especially with our winters, which are very harsh on the areas associated with our local rivers. And you can see, even today, though these rivers flow this way, the water is going that way because of the wind. So there's always issues associated with erosion, and we're not going to have to worry about that anymore due to the work that was done to protect this site. And I have to give a big shout out to our governor, Kathy Hochul, and her team locally with Empire State Development, joined today by Bonnie Kane Lockwood, because the primary funding for this project came from New York State, came from Empire State Development. The county provided technical assistance. Buffalo Niagara Waterkeeper provided its technical assistance, but the work to pay for this came from New York State. And New York State is investing in our Blueway. Governor Hochul understands the importance of our waterways. These waterways have been important in Erie County and Buffalo's history for many, many, almost 2 centuries now. It's almost 200 years ago this year, the Erie Canal was opened here in Buffalo, creating an incredible industrial use of this land. But over time, the industrial use has changed, but the sites were still here, and they were opened up for public access and public use. Same thing's happening on Lake Erie's waterfront. I want to thank Governor Hochul and her team for the work that they're doing to ensure that the future of this site is one that everyone can enjoy, not just the industrial use it was in the past, and that this new site is opened, which is handicap accessible, which can be enjoyed by all. And it is a beautiful, pretty site. We are in the heart of the city of Buffalo. And you can sit at these sites here, or Red Jacket Park, or Seneca Bluffs, just up the river, and you won't even realize you're in Buffalo because of the natural beauty that surrounds you. It's a worthy testament and honor to our late great former sheriff, Tom Higgins, and it's a testament to all of us here that we've invested in this so that future generations can enjoy it. They may not know of the work that was put in and the money that was spent, but they're going to enjoy these locations along our Buffalo Blueway, and that's something we can all be proud of. So thank you for all the work that you've done to create this incredible I should say, reinvigorated Thomas F. Higgins Park, something that the public will enjoy for many decades to come. And as I said, a big shout out goes out to our governor for the investment that she made. It's my pleasure to introduce her local representative, Bonnie Kane Lockwood, at this time.
Thank you, Executive. Appreciate it. Good morning, everybody, and I do bring greetings and great gratitude from Western New York's own Governor Kathy Hochul. I want to thank Jill. Her dedicated, determined leadership over the decades is fully on display along with her Waterkeeper team because we see the results. We can enjoy the results. We can look forward to being back here again and again. And so back here at the beautiful Thomas F. Higgins Riverfront Park, or as I was just told by Seamus, Papa's Park. Right? This renovated site, funded by the state's Economic Development Agency, and I'm joined by my colleague, Paul Tronalone, increases the access, obviously, to Western New York's best asset after our people, our waterfront. And as the county executive so generously said, our governor is the biggest champion of Buffalo's waterfront. She's worked hard to see its health and popularity grow in the last decade, and her own campaign, her own priority, get offline, get outside, to increase our own awareness of the outdoors, to put down our phones, to limit social media, and to enjoy all that our outdoors has to offer. This site adds to the network of public access points along the waterfront, completed as part of the Buffalo Blueway project, but a blueway that's been done the right way, with great partners in the county, great partners with the Waterkeeper, great partners like the Higgins family that represents the families that will come and enjoy this for decades to come. We talk about resources. These is evidence of resources allocated, but results realized. We don't get to say that enough, but we need to say that when it does happen. It's happening here. On the way here, I drove by the arena, and they're setting up for the Buffalo Bandit celebration today. And what does it say? Back to back to back. And all of those initiatives, all of those parks that have been improved and access increased is back to back to back investment of resources allocated and results realized. Thank you to our partners, but especially I knew Sheriff Higgins. You couldn't help but know Sheriff Higgins because he would come right over and tell you, I'm Sheriff Higgins. He was a member of my own community at St. Thomas Aquinas. He represented family. He represented faith. He represented service to our community and to our country. Well into his 80s, he was skiing. He was skydiving. As a teenager, he worked at Donna Hanner Coke Oven. When I think of what the waterways or our land used to look like to where it is today, so representative of his commitment to all of those things. But most of all, looking at your family today, I think of his beloved wife, Shirley. She was the wind beneath his wings, and together they represent, and your family represents what we do each and every day to make it a better place. On behalf of this governor, our county executive, the Waterkeeper, look forward to more great announcements like this. Congratulations to everybody who made today and our future days possible. Thank you.
Well said.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the comments from both Bonnie and Mark about this site, and just keeping in mind and what we've learned today and what we talk about, this is more than just a park project, right? It's not just about designating a space. It's how people are going to use that space. And not only for people, but the connections to the fish and wildlife and the local environment. This is just one more example of the work that we're trying to achieve and the goals we're trying to accomplish through the Buffalo Blueway. We've got 6 other sites that we're putting in the ground. We've got 3 more to go. Looking forward to it. So stick with us and keep an eye on how the Blueway continues to evolve. And thank you very much. We'll take some questions now.
Any questions on topic? And then we'll do the ribbon cutting. On topic?
On this topic?
Okay, good.
Or you describe this park as small and mighty. Now, I knew Sheriff Higgins very well, and he was not a small man by any means.
No.
But he was very mighty. And his words always had meaning. How apropos is that you describe this park? This park is literally small and mighty, just like he was.
For the people who are maybe watching at home, because we're live streaming this, it was a reference to how I said this park is small and mighty, and while Sheriff Higgins wasn't small, he was mighty. It's a good representation of him. Yes, I mean, we have over 10,000 acres of parkland to enjoy in Erie County, and the largest park being Chestnut Ridge Park, but actually our forest land is bigger. To give you an idea of the size of Chestnut Ridge Park, you could fit every single Olmsted Park in Chestnut Ridge Park, and you still have 200 acres left over because Chestnut Ridge is so big. So when you make a comparison to our forest land or our Chestnut Ridge Park, the acreage is not large, but it is this wonderful place that in some ways, as we said, is a great representation of our late great former sheriff, because this is a place that families can go to. If you're an avid sportsman, outdoorsman, you can come out here and enjoy fishing or just bird watching. It may not be large, but there's a lot that can be done here. And with the additions that were done with the Blueway, it is a beautiful facility. It's not to say it wasn't great beforehand, but it's so much better now, especially with the opened up access, which makes it much better for those who may have a disability or be handicapped. I'm proud of the work that was done by the Buffalo Niagara Waterkeeper team through the support of our governor. I often talk about, and I talked about it earlier today when we were talking about something that the sheriff would have really known, which is the jail and how we're going in a new direction with regards to going to one jail instead of having 2 entities. These are legacy projects. These are things that are going to last a long time, that people won't know who are involved in it. They'll know who the former sheriff is, because when you come in here, you see the description of his life on the wall there. But they won't know who was involved in these projects, but they'll know they made a difference, so that people who aren't even born yet are going to enjoy that. It reminds me a lot of the WPA projects, which are the basis of many of our historic parks. They invested in those projects, not just for those days, but for the people to enjoy decades in the future. Our forest was built out of what is basically old vacant farmland. And when they built the forest, they actually had to grow the forest. And they knew that most people who lived that day were not going to see the benefits of it, but people 20, 30 years down the line would. And that's what this park is. It's going to be something that people enjoy 20, 30 years and beyond. And that's something we can all be proud of. And it's a better facility because of the work that was done with the Blueway. And it's part of a vast Blueway. It's just not this park. It's connected to the other locations, which allow people to enjoy our beautiful riverfront.
How does all the work that's been done here sort of enhance the amenities that are available, for families?
Sure.
Come down here. How does this make this maybe that much better?
Well, like County Executive Honkar said, this site was already well used and by many local families for access. We've just tried to make it a little bit safer, a little bit easier, so more members of the community could access, and also to enhance and uplift any of the ecosystem aspects for fish and wildlife, and to complement the restoration work that was done in the Buffalo River. We know we could geek out for a long time to talk about all the designs, engineering that went into this. It's again, small but mighty site. It has tremendous forces that affect the shoreline here, and the river actually has a bi-directional flow. You see it going backwards now, but it actually flows out underneath, and that creates a lot of forces. And this park was actually at risk of eroding away over time. So it was by necessity that we had to design the shoreline stabilization, but we wanted to do that also would enhance the user experience and benefit people and wildlife at the same time.
Are there fish that are stocked in water then, or
That's a question I'll have to fact check that for you. I'm not sure if DC stocks anything here in the Buffalo River. They may do walleye, or they've tried walleye in the past. I don't know how successful that's been, but I can fact check that for you.
If there's no further questions on topic, we'll do the ribbon cutting, ask members of the Higgins family and the partners that played a role. And then if you do have any off topics, we'll take